What's up everybody? So in today's video I'm actually going to be using my Cobb Accessport to tune the transmission on my 2014 Nissan GT-R. When you buy these access ports for this car, you can either get it with just the engine tune or you can also get a TCM tune as well. I have that in it, I've never installed it yet. So today we're going to basically see if it's worth it and what it really does. So as of the stock transmission, the biggest thing that kind of sucks with this car, it's very clunky in slow speeds. There's a lot of chatter, a lot of rattling, and a lot of weird stuff like that. And then more importantly, when you're in second gear, especially in automatic, when you're in manual, this really doesn't happen because obviously you're shifting. But in automatic, it won't really shift to first gear until you get below, I think it's 2 or 3 miles an hour. And with one of the tunes on here, I'm not really sure exactly which one at this point, but with them, it should shift to first gear at like 6 miles an hour, which is a big thing. When you daily drive a GT-R, coming up to stop signs and stoplights and parts of the road where you need to come to either a complete stop or almost a complete stop and then hurry up and accelerate, a lot of times it'll stay in second gear, you'll give it gas, and then you're lugging the engine in second gear trying to accelerate, and then sometimes it'll either downshift to first gear, clunky, like very clunky downshift to first gear, and then you can start moving, or it'll stay in second and you're just gonna really accelerate very, very slowly. So there's a lot of weird quirks within the stock transmission, just the way it's set up. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate a few of them just in this parking lot here to kind of see what it's like. But I'll come to almost a stop as if I'm coming to like a stop sign that I can see very well. So I'm in second gear, still in second, and now I'm accelerating at 4 miles an hour. And sometimes that's really weird to do. I was on downhill right there, so it wasn't that bad. And in a lot of situations, that's not really ideal because sometimes you stop and then you gotta hurry up and get into traffic. Maybe there's a hole coming that you can get into. So right now we're still in second, and I almost stopped. That was 4 miles an hour, and it still stayed in second gear. I'm gonna come up to almost a stop now, so I'm slowing down. Let's say it's a stop sign or something. Still in second gear, but I'm trying to go. And then we're really slow in second gear trying to accelerate. But that's probably one of the biggest downfalls with this car. If of course you're in manual mode though, you know, you can shift yourself. It'll still downshift and do the exact same thing. So slowing down, we're in second, and now it went to first. And then we'll pop it into race mode because I'm not really too sure on these tunes for the transmission, because if I'm in race mode and automatic, it's very aggressive. If I floor it, it'll try to stay in the optimal gear, and when I slam on the brakes, it'll downshift quite a bit. So in race mode now, we'll come up to a stop sign and do the exact same test, but slowing down, it's in second. And see, it's still in second right there as I try to get up and go now. So it's a little weird, so I don't think in race mode it really makes a difference. It still does that same thing. It's not gonna go to first until you're like 3 miles an hour. Obviously this is a supercar with supercar performance, all that fun stuff, but this is a car that you can drive like a normal vehicle. So basically slow speed is just clunky, weird, just the way it shifts. You can't really roll any type of stop or anything like that. So with that said, we have the Cobb Accessport, and we're gonna plug this in and show you how to download the tune for the TCM. So with it on, we're gonna scroll over to tune, hit enter. So ECU map we've already changed. I'm running the Cobb off-the-shelf stage 2 map, and then TCM install. We're gonna click that. So it's reading it, it's just confirming. So we got 38B0B or BOB, LC5 TCM. We'll hit continue. And then now here, for those of you who are GT-R owners, please let me know which one is actually the best one, because they're all different. I really have no clue which one is which. I don't think Cobb does a really good job telling you which one is which either. On the website, they have no descriptions, so you really don't know what you're looking at. From what I've seen, though, a lot of people have said LC5 and optimized shifting is a good one to go with. This one says stock style, then we have VDC off. I really am not sure the difference between these. And then another thing, it says V103, that's like version. So apparently the 103 is going to be a newer one compared to V100. So it's really not clear which one to go with. But I think to start, we're going to go with stock style LC5 V103. I feel like that might be a good base tune to start with. So I'm hitting the center. So since I want to save the stock data, I'm going to hit continue and then continue again. So right now it's going to save all the stock data for the TCM, and then it'll start tuning. Okay, so that finished. So turn off ignition for 15 seconds and then hit OK to proceed. Got something flashing up there. So we'll count to 15. Back to the on position and hit continue. See what we got going on the screens. Alright, so TCM change map successful. Please turn off ignition. Go ahead and fire it up. think a lot of forums said to do the relearn. So I think it might be just cycling through the gears or something. So we're doing a check process there. This is still cycling. And you can actually hear the transmission clicking. So definitely pretty weird right now. We're just kind of cycling through. Gear learning has been successfully performed. So I think that is it. We have tuned the transmission. Next up is to drive it and see if there's anything different. I'm running the 3A-B0B stock style LC5 V103. So comment down below, for those of you GT-R owners, is that one that you run, or is there a different one to run? We're going to start with this one and see how it goes. So that was a slight acceleration, not really hitting boost at all, but it seemed to shift a little bit later than normal. Let me slow down for a turn. Looks like we're in third gear still, second gear now. Yeah, so it's still in second gear at 4 miles an hour. Let's see. So I hit first gear at like 3. So honestly, as of right now, I don't notice any difference. It feels pretty much the same. So not really too big of a difference so far. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the ignition back to the on position, and we'll get the Cobb fired up and then try a different map and drive around and see if we notice a difference. So we were doing the stock style LC5 103. Let's go with, so this is V100, but it says optimized shifting. Let's do this one. Let's do the optimized shifting V100. So maybe that's an old one. I'm not really sure. But LC5. So let's click enter. Go into that one. So we have the VDC off LC5 Cobb optimized shifting V100. And then in the beginning it says 38B0B. Don't know what that means again, but we are going to roll with that and see if there's anything different as I slow down. So I think I went to first, maybe a little bit better. Let's see. So it looks like we're having to get to probably almost 3,000 RPM for it to shift. So then with a stop sign. So that was interesting. We went right to first gear as I rolled the stop sign. So I just went to fifth, and as I turn, we're in fourth, actually in third now. I know some of the forums had said that a lot of times when you are driving the car in 6th gear and you need to pass a car and kind of floor it, and again, we're all talking in automatic, the car won't downshift like quick enough or to the optimal gear when you're just in normal transmission setting, and that is something I don't like. Like when you're coming up to pass somebody, you need to floor it and get around them, and the car kind of doesn't downshift, which in 6th gear you really don't have any power. So we're holding at 4th gear now, which I wonder why it's doing that. So I'll pretend like there's a stop sign. So it kind of lugged a little bit around 5-6 and then went to first. But I think to finish this video, I'm going to drive around a little bit more to get my bearings with it, to let it kind of break in more, and then kind of get back with you guys. And then at a stop, there's actually a lot more clutch chatter and transmission chatter. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Definitely grinds and makes some noise, so I don't really know if I see any benefit of the transmission tune. Definitely not a night and day difference like a lot of people were saying. So I think I might swap it around a little bit, play with it to see which one works the best, and then in about 1 second I will get back with you guys.
2 hours later.
So I've actually been driving around now all morning, just kind of in the town, highway driving, and pretty much everything that I can throw its way. What I'm finding with the tunes, if I put the transmission into the save mode, the same lack of throttle response is there like with the normal tune. However, it'll easily go to 6th gear, so the gear changes are pretty much just like stock. However, you have no throttle response, so again, save mode is really pointless. If you are in normal mode, it really holds the gear. So right now, I'm actually in 2nd gear, just going 20. Now it's in 3rd gear. and it's staying in third gear. What I'm finding is that's too aggressive for normal driving. Like, it won't even go to sixth gear if I'm at 50. So it seems to be holding the gears a little bit too high for daily driving, like normal driving. And then for save mode, it'll keep the gear changes less aggressive, but you have no throttle response. And then race mode, let's see how that is. Race mode doesn't really change too much. Might hold the gears a little bit, but we're in third gear at 33, which, you know, it shouldn't be there. So honestly, I am not impressed at all with the transmission tune. I really don't think my car needs it at all. It's weird though, a lot of people that I've talked to have 15s and, you know, similar years as mine and said that it was a night and day difference, but I'm not seeing that at all. The way the stock transmission tune is set up in save mode, it's very conservative. The throttle response is pretty much not there, and it gear changes as quick as it can to get to 6th gear. However, in normal mode, it just feels normal. It'll get to 6th gear at a reasonable time, and all the gear changes just kind of seem normal. I really don't notice the car lugging as bad as what some people said and as bad as I kind of thought. And then race mode, of course, is very aggressive. But if you're driving in manual, this kind of doesn't apply. This really applies to the automatic setting. But back into normal mode, I mean, now we're in 4th gear. It shouldn't be there. You know, that's, I don't know. Maybe in 2009, 2010 GT-Rs, it's beneficial to do the transmission tune because that's a little bit different system, a little bit older, while they upgrade a lot of things in the newer cars. But once I get home, I'm honestly going to uninstall it. Oh, look at that, we're in 4th gear going almost 50. That's pointless. I'm going to uninstall the transmission tune. Comment down below for those of you who said it's a night and day difference, meaning smoother transmission, better changing to 1st gear at slow speeds. Because honestly, doing more slow speeds testing, I don't notice it really making a difference. It's still doing 2nd gear, or if I stop it'll go to 1st. So I don't see really any positive difference. It's just holding gears longer, which is actually annoying. So I'm not seeing any benefit. But anyway, if you have seen a benefit, comment down below the exact tune that you went with. On Cobb's website, they have like 50 up there. None of them tell you exactly what they do. There's no descriptions. There's really no way for any normal person to know what any of them mean. It's just a lot of numbers and codes, and it means absolutely nothing to pretty much anyone trying to read it. For those of you who said you have seen really good results, meaning it drives a lot better, take a picture of it and like send me a picture through Instagram or something. That way I can see the actual coding or whatever it is. Because at least the ones that came on the tuner, I think they're pointless. I played with a few of them, messed with all the different settings, but I'm going to uninstall it because I think the stock transmission works fine. Yes, it's clunky, but a lot of that is the gearing. From what the Nissan tech told me, the gears are made with a little bit of slop in them, just because high-speed performance driving, the metal expands, which makes it drive perfectly smooth at high speeds, and then you sacrifice, of course, having a little bit clunky slow speed. The 1st gear change when you're coming to a stop, it seems to be the same no matter what, so that really doesn't matter. I drive the car in manual a lot, so I don't think this tuning even is really relevant to what I'm going to be using the car for. But anyway, that wraps up the video. Is this the tune your GT-R needs or not? I don't think mine needs it. I don't really recommend it at all. I could be missing something. Maybe there's a better one that I just didn't install. So comment below, tell me which ones you guys have used. But anyway, that wraps up today's video, trying to play with the transmission tuning for the GT-R with the Cobb Accessport. That is all I had for you guys today. Give it a huge thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. See you guys next video.